Hey everybody, it's Doug Shelf with Remax Oceanside at Make Maine Your Home.com. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about Maine architecture. And in particular, we're going to talk about the types of houses that you'll see here in Maine. So let's do this. All right, everybody, we are going to talk about architecture. I love houses. That's why I'm a real estate broker. I'm going to go quickly through this, so it won't be a super long video, but I'll just kind of point out like the types of houses that you'll see here in Maine, in particular, like the older houses. I'm not talking about all the houses that were built in like, 70s and 80s and stuff. I'm talking about like the traditional, like old houses that have been around forever. First is like kind of like the 17th century colonial house. You'll see a ton of these sprinkled around if you kind of travel throughout Maine. These are like the old like farmhouses, pretty plain, usually on main roads, close to the road. And the reason that was done was because these were farmhouses. So it's like working farms. They wanted to be close to the road and all that kind of stuff for easier access, things like that. But you'll see a ton of these pretty modest, like colonial houses and all that stuff. Next we got here is like the Georgian houses. These are like a little bit bigger, and kind of as I'm talking through these, it's kind of like bigger. Georgian houses, very, very similar to colonials, but just bigger, grander. The facade is almost, the same. It's all, kind of like a boxy colonial, just the upper middle class, moving into that range, of type of houses from way back then. These were all built, a lot of these were built in the 17 and 1800s as well. The next up is, I'm not actually that familiar with this style of house. I mean, I'm sure I've seen them a gazillion times, just never knew that they were named this, and it's the Adam style houses. They're also called federal houses, which actually I've heard that, just you don't hear it a lot. So this is kind of evolved from the Georgian house, much more opulent, small rectangular windows, more stories, and just overall bigger, the molding and things like that are really just very, very unique and very cool. And then lastly is the Victorian style houses, which the best way to describe this is the Victorian mansion. These are just like the awesome, just like almost like museum-esque kind of houses. That's why I say check out the Victorian mansion. But those houses are just like big and grand, and just, you can just picture tons of like cool parties and stuff happening in those way back in the day. So anyway, here's a little bit of information. Hopefully it was helpful about Maine architecture. If you got any comments about what we talked about, or if you got any additions that you want to, add to it, comment below, send an email, hit us up on social media. And remember, if you make Maine your home, make it one of these homes, and don't do it alone.
Really good. I'm very glad I took the van as well. I'm getting old, I'm getting tired of taking time.